Jai Mahamaya ki jai, Bole Baba ki jai. In our last discourse, we heard about Brigu cursing Lord Vishnu for cutting off the head of his wife, cursing him to many lifetimes, coming down as an avatar in various forms when the world needed help. And also about Brihaspati, the guru of the Devas, disguising himself as Sukracharya and going before the demons and telling them untruths and pretending like he was their guru. So we'll go on to chapter 13. King Janamejaya said, "What did the intelligent Brihaspati do after he assumed falsely the appearance of Sukracharya and lived there as a spiritual guide of the demons? O Muni, Brihaspati is the guru of the Devas. He also devotes his time in studying the Vedas and is the ocean of all knowledge. He is the son of Maharishi Angira, and he himself is a Muni. Endorsed with all these good qualifications, how could he deceive the demons? In all the religious sastras, truth is declared to be the essence of Dharma, and the Supreme Self is attained through truth, so the wise sages say. How can we expect an ordinary householder to be true when such a man as Brihaspati takes recourse to falsehood with the demons? If one acquires as one's wealth the whole universe, still one does not require anything more than what is required in feeding one's belly. How is it that Brihaspati could speak falsehood merely for the sake of his belly? O Muni, the words sung by the ancient, virtuous, and respectable sages were true and had their corresponding objects denoted by those words. Now they employed the term sista, meaning that which are virtuous, respectable people as denoted by them. When Brihaspati can even commit such condemnable, deceitful acts and speak falsehood, we can expect no virtuous, respectable persons in this world. Where then do you find the sista persons denoted by the word sista, sung by the ancient sages? The word sista is now meaningless. The Devas are sprung from the sattvic qualities, men from rajasic, and birds, etc., from the tamasic qualities. When the guru of the immortals, the incarnate of sattvic qualities, can become a liar, how can one expect those who are rajasic or tamasic to follow rigorously the truth? Oh, this true Loki is all pierced with falsehood. Where is the religion, and what will be the ultimate goal of all these creatures when Bhagavan, Vishnu, Brahma, Indra, and the best of the Devas, when all can be taken to pretext fraud and trickery and show cleverness in them, what to speak of men? O giver of honor, when all the Devas, Vishista, Vamadeva, Vishwamitra, Brihaspati, and other ascetics, Munis, can get themselves overpowered by lust and anger, when their intelligence gets destroyed by covetousness and avarice, when they are addicted to vices and are expert in fraud, pretext, and trickery, then what fate, alas, can you expect of Dharma, and what help is there of any religious persons? Alas, Indra, Agni, Moon, and Brahma, when these get overpowered by the strong influence of lust, all are in illicit love with others' wives. Where is the goodness and virtuous behavior in this true Loki? O sinless one, to whom then can we look upon as our spiritual guides and our advice and lawgivers when all the Devas and Munis are corrupt with avarice? Vedavyasa said, O King Janamejaya, be he Indra, Brihaspati, Brahma, Vishnu, or Shiva, whoever is embodied or will put on bodies, he will have to be in touch with the previously mentioned ahankara and covetousness and other vices due to name and form. O King, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva are all attached to sensual objects, and what improper and sinful actions there can be that cannot be committed by persons devoted to sensual objects. It is through cleverness and fraud that anyone devoted to sensual objects can easily make oneself as cleverly free from Maya. But when difficulty arises, then his trickery gets discovered and the respective qualities hidden in him are brought to bear their respective results. Know then the three qualities of each conjointly the cause of all these actions, as without any cause, no action gets visible. These discrepancies in the case of Brahma and others are caused by the three qualities. Their bodies are all created from this. O king, Brahma and others are subject to death. Then how can you doubt on other things? In advising others, everybody gives, as it were, good and virtuous advice. But the burden falls upon their own heads. They fall off from their own good advice and act according to their hidden nature. Then they yield to lust, anger, envy, egoism, and fascination. No one who is embodied can get rid of passions born of the three qualities. O king, thus the Triloki goes, is the saying of the Maharishis. The Triloki, suspicious, auspicious, inauspicious, mixed, never gets any serious change. Its nature remains always uniform. See, Bhagavan Vishnu sometimes practices severe asceticism, the practice of religious sacrifices. Again you find Vishnu, full of youth, fond of the Leela, enjoying the company of Rama in Vaikuntha. Sometimes he is the ocean of mercy, and is fighting dreadful battles with the demons, and being severely afflicted with their clusters of arrows. Sometimes he gains victories, sometimes he gets defeat through the irony of fate. Thus he gets undoubtedly pleasures and pain. O king, sometimes Narayana, Lord Vishnu, draws all the worlds into his belly and takes his yogic sleep on the thousand-headed serpent. And again he gets himself awakened by Prakriti, O king. Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, Indra, and the Devas, and the Munis, all of them, live up to the limit of their ordained time, and when the time of Pralaya, the universal dissolution, ends, the whole universe, moving and unmoving, again comes into existence as before. There is no doubt in this, O king. At the expiry of the ordained time, Rama and all the others will die, no doubt. Again, in due course, Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh and the other devas come out and assume bodies and get all the passions less as ordained. O king, you need not be astonished. This Triloki always goes on, accompanied by lust, anger, etc. Persons free from lust, anger, and other passions are very rare in this world. He who is afraid of this world does not marry, and thus being free from the attachments to any worldly objects becomes free and roams fearless. The moon stole away the wife of Brihaspati, and Brihaspati himself stole away the wife of his younger brother. Thus in the wheel of samsara, all the creatures are ever passioned with attachment, avarice, etc. The householder can never expect to obtain freedom. Therefore, those who want to be free should carefully relinquish the idea of the stability of the world and worship the Eternal Mother. This world, moving and unmoving, O Muni, rolls in madness, overpowered by her Mahamaya. Intelligent persons worshipping her trample down the three qualities and become free, O king. No other path exists for freedom. Until one gets the grace from the Mahalakshmi, the Mahasani, one never gets happiness. True mercy is not found anywhere else but from her, the Divine Mother. Then one should worship the all-merciful, being of pure heart, for her worship leads to freedom, even in this bodyhood. He who, getting a human frame, vows to worship the Divine Mother, gets down from the highest rung of the ladder. This is my opinion. This universe, composed of the three qualities, is encompassed with ahankara and fastened to untruth. Therefore, freedom can never be expected without the worship of that potent goddess. O Moni, O King, renounce every worldly object and serve the goddess Bhuvaneshwari. That is the highest duty of all. The king said, what did then the Deva Guru Brihaspati do in the disguise of Sukracharya? And when did the real Sukracharya come then? O respected Muni, speak on these points. Vedavyasa said, please hear what the disguised Brihaspati in the shape of Sukracharya did afterwards. The demons were made to understand clearly by Brihaspati, and they took him for Sukracharya and placed implicit faith on him and began to think of him and him alone. The demons, enchanted and deceived by the magic of Brihaspati, took now his refuge for acquiring the knowledge from him, since they mistook him for Sukracharya. Who is there that is not enchanted by the idea of gaining something? On the other hand, when the terms of 10 years was over, Sukracharya, the real guru of the demons, ceased enjoying Jayanti and began to remember his disciples, the demons. He now began to think that my disciples, the demons, are expecting every instant my return, and I would now go and see them. They must be bewildered with fear. They are my devotees, and I ought to do such that they might not be afraid of the Devas. And then he exclaimed to Jayanti, O beautiful one, let my sons take the shelter of the gods. Your term of 10 years is today over. I now go, therefore, to see my disciples soon, and soon I will come again to you. Be it so, replied Jayanti, the best of those who know religion. You can go where you like. I am not to destroy your dharma. Hearing these words, Sukracharya went hurriedly to the demons and saw the Deva Guru Brihaspati sitting before them in the guise of Sukracharya. He was explaining to him doctrines compiled by himself and finding fault with the act of envy, taking revenge and killing and cursing the sacrifices. He was telling them, O enemies of gods, truly I'm telling you words that will no doubt prove good to you. Non-killing is the highest virtue. Even the enemies ought never to be killed. It is the Brahmanas, addicted to enjoyments and pleasures of the senses, who want to satisfy their tastes and pleasures, that are found in the Vedas' injunction to kill animals. But there is no virtue higher than non-killing. O king, Sukracharya was perfectly astonished to hear Brihaspati, the guru of the Devas, speaking against the Vedas, and began to think that Brihaspati is certainly my enemy. My disciples have been duped by his cheat. There is no doubt in this. 5. Avarice. It is the seed of sin, very strong, and the veritable gate to hell. Brihaspati, even the guru of the Devas, is speaking lies, bound under the influence of this heinous avarice. Oh, what wonder is there that the guru of the Devas, who is the promulgator of all the religions, sastras, and whose word is accepted as a final decision, is now expounding the doctrine of atheism. When Brihaspati can become the expounder of atheistic doctrines, impelled by covetousness, what to speak of those whose minds are not pure and whose intelligence is not sharp? This Deva Guru, though a Brahmin, is acting today like a rogue, wanting to take away all, and is deceiving my disciples, the demons, who have been confounded by his magic. Here ends the 13th chapter in the 4th book of the Srimad Devi Bhagavatam, the Mahapurana, 18,000 verses on cheating the demons by Maharishi Veda Vyasa. Jai Mahamaya ki jai, Vishveshwari Mata ki jai, Haryakandeshwari Mata ki jai, Bole Baba ki jai.